elsewhere. Now, people living in the ME141 area are being urged to get a PCR test. That's the one that you can do at home. This is additional to the 2-week testing programme currently taking place in Canterbury to find Delta variant cases. Well, this morning, Dr Alison Dougall, she's Interim Director of Public Health for Kent County Council, spoke with Anna Cookson on the wake-up call on BBC Radio Kent.
We've been really pleased with the response of the public in Canterbury. So, as you know, we started the testing earlier this week, and we've had a brilliant, steady stream of people coming through and being responsible and getting themselves tested. At Maidstone, we had some testing earlier this week. As you know, there are a limited number of mobile testing units, and they were deployed elsewhere for a couple of days, and they're back on Friday. From Friday to Monday of this weekend, we're asking those that are living or working in the ME141 postcode to attend to have a PCR test. And also anybody that attended the Quaker Meeting House on Union Street, which is where the testing unit is. If anybody attended the Quaker Meeting House in the last month, we'd like them to get tested as well. So obviously this is only people that have no symptoms.
Yes.
But if you fit into one of those categories, it's there from Friday until Monday, and we'd really like people to come and get tested.
And I know we've spoken about this before, but, you know, let's go over old ground if you like, because not everyone would have heard that. This is all to find this variant of coronavirus, this Delta variant. That's why it's so important, isn't it, that you do get yourself to one of those mobile units when you can?
Absolutely. So overall, across Kent, we actually have reducing rates of coronavirus, of COVID-19, and we have really good rates of vaccination. But that means that we can spot when we have a case or a couple of cases of Delta variant, or what we used to call Indian variant. And that means that we can jump on it straight away, get the investigations done, and make sure that we don't let it spread any further.
Yes, of course. And are you confident, do you feel confident that we can get on top of this? Obviously, from what we know, and I don't know much about this Delta variant, it does spread very quickly. We need to make sure that we stamp it out.
Yes, well, it's similar to the situation we had with the Kent variant last Christmas, in that it does transmit a little faster than other variants. But having said that, we have so many of our population that are vaccinated that I don't think we're going to have a similar situation to that we had in the winter. But nonetheless, we want to get on top of this, because if we can investigate as soon as we see cases and take all the appropriate actions, we can keep it all under control and hopefully stay online for the roadmap later on this month and the easing of restrictions.
That was Dr Alison Dougall, Interim Director of Public Health for Kent County Council, speaking with Anna Cookson on the wake-up call this morning on BBC Radio Kent.
Oh, I was like a kid at Christmas.
Evening, this is Kent's Arts and Culture Show.
I wish I were in Margate. I can't tell you how heartbreaking it is to have a show and not to be there.
Uncovering new talent.
So this week's Kent Session artist has done so much in such a short time. Glastonbury, Reading and Leeds, and now a UK tour kicking off right here in Kent.
Discovering new work.
And it's sited at Gravesend, just facing Tilbury Dock.
And exploring those connections to Kent.
Is this really windy?
Yes, this is very... Listen, if you don't hurry up, I'm going to end up in the merry old land of Oz here.
There's no place like home. No place like home.
The Dominic King Show, Monday to Thursday evenings from 6.
BBC Radio Kent. Dominic King and Casey Dale taking you through the evening time here on BBC Radio Kent. And I will be catching up with Dom because he's going to be on straight after me at 6 o'clock. So before that happens, after 5:30, we'll be chatting to Dom and finding out exactly what he and Casey have up their sleeves for you tonight from 6. So make sure you stay tuned for that. There's going to be a great show. It always is. Until then, you've got me right the way through till 6 o'clock, now 24 minutes past 4. And you also get me now, while there's no football being played and no sports hub, a little bit of an extra treat for you, or an extra punishment if you don't like listening to me. I do hope not. On Saturday afternoons here on BBC Radio Kent, we call it Summer Saturdays. And what I'd love to do, if you have any events that you're planning at the moment, anything you might have been unable to do last year, but you're hoping to do a watered-down version of this year to keep it COVID safe, or maybe looking forward to getting it back with a bang, maybe not quite yet, but certainly in July, August, why don't you send me an email about it? And maybe, just maybe, I could get you on to Kent Summer Saturday so you can tell me all about it. And you come on, it's just a bit of fun in the sun, in the afternoons, to keep us going and remind ourselves that although we're missing out on lots of things at the moment, we all understand that. But there are still lots of things that we can do. When we pull together, amazing things can happen. So send me an email with your name, a few details about the event, what's happening, who you're going to be doing it with, and what it's all about. And I might just call you up or email you back and ask you to be on Kent Summer Saturdays with me in the future on a Saturday afternoon. Every Saturday between 2 and 6, right the way through the rest of June, July, and a bit of August as well. I will be there with you. Let's get you on air and let's talk about whatever you're doing, because I think anyone who has the chutzpah and the guts and the bravery to organise something now for friends and neighbours, just to remind everyone that life does continue. It will go on. Things are getting back to normal. Well, I take my hat off to you. I think the least I can do is give you some promotion and talk about that on the radio. So the email address you need, I hope you've got your pad and pens at the ready. Are you standing by? It's Kent Summer Saturdays, all one word, Kent Summer Saturdays at bbc.co.uk. Drop me an email. And who knows, I may be calling you up and inviting you on in 1 week in the future. Why not? I'd love to speak to you. And as I say, that's what the show is all about. It's all about talking to you about what you're going to be doing and inviting other people to be involved as well. It is BBC Radio Kent. As I say, I really look forward to getting those emails, so do send them in. If you want to text me today, though, you can do that as well. 81333 is the number you need, starting your message with the word Kent. And I think I've got time, before Adam comes along with the latest news headlines, to squeeze in another song. And I've saved a really good one for you. It's Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. Don't you just love this? This man, I couldn't love him anymore. He does loads for charity. He appeared at the Super Bowl. And everything is always talking about events that are big and brave and bold. Well, that's what he is every time he steps on stage, and I love him. 26 minutes past 4.